Now, no bailout extension for the cash-strapped Greeks has been revealed in the last hour, and a possible default, therefore, now just a couple of days away. Let's cross live to Felix Moreno, trader and portfolio manager at RF Trading, get his thoughts on it. I guess no great surprise here, I suppose. A lot of people saw this coming. Can Greece sensibly hold a referendum on the 5th of July, then? What's it holding a referendum about if the Eurozone finance ministers have said, that's it, end of the line?
Well, Kevin, if Greece is going to change direction and they're going to break with the EU, or if they're going to have to default on their debt or any major decision of that type, the Greek government is going to need to know that the public is behind them. So they can hold a referendum on the latest proposal, which is being taken back by the EU, or they can hold a referendum on Greece's new direction, or they can do the first and use it for the second purpose.
Interesting. What if the Greek public come back and say, yeah, we'll go with it, we'll go with this plan? Is it too late? Do you think, is it really dead in the water?
I think it's very unlikely that that would happen, but if it did, the government of Mr. Tsipras would have to resign, and then we would have elections, and then we would have another few months of no possible deal because there's no government to negotiate with. So it's very difficult to see a deal being struck at this point. And
there doesn't look like to be a particular plan B there, keeping Greece within the euro. So what is plan B now? Is it Europe trying to ring-fence Greece off as a damage limitation exercise? What are they talking about now? Because the Greeks have walked out, haven't they?
Well, if at the moment that the European Central Bank cuts off the emergency liquidity to Greek banks, we are going to see capital controls. And once they have capital controls and Greece is ringed off, as you say, like what happened with Cyprus, then the government of Greece is going to be very tempted to default on the debt. And that, it's still, you know, it's 420 billion euros. It's very tempting to just say, well, we're not going to pay, this debt is odious and illegitimate.
What happened to Angela Merkel's where there's a will, there's a way? We even heard some of those Eurozone ministers saying the same thing today, using that same phrase, where there's a will, there's a way. Is the will run out then, completely, you think?
I think the will ran out a few months ago, in January. They knew that they were going to face this crisis or a similar one in the near future, this year. And they knew it was not going to be the last one, because after Greece, there's other countries on the spotlight. And they wanted to set a precedent. They wanted to play bad cop to give an example to any other potential debt defaults.
So cutting to the chase, as you see it so far, as it stands tonight, is it going to be a Grexit, yeah?
I think that's the most probable scenario. It's not inevitable, but I think we're going to see it within the next year. It's almost certain, in my opinion.
OK, not sooner than that, you think?
No, these things take time, and the euros that people hold in their hands as banknotes, they've been going to the ATMs to withdraw, they're going to still have value. I mean, they have value in Croatia, which has its own currency. Why can't they have value in Greece, even if they start to issue drachmas at the same time or in parallel? Or they decide to abandon the euro, people are still going to use them. So these things take months.
Interesting, too, those Euro finance ministers in a press conference just earlier on were saying that, you know, it wasn't end of the line as far as the Greek government's concerned. They're still liable for all these debts that they've run up. Are they going to be pursued then?
It's very tempting. It's very. They were using the emergency assistance and the bailout extensions to pay for the latest tranches in the debt. So they're gonna be very tempted not to pay the IMF at the end of the month. They're going to be tempted not to pay the next few debt settlements, and after they do that a couple of times, it becomes very tempting to reject all of the debt. After all, it's 175% of Greek GDP, so it's a lot of money.
Mess, isn't it? Felix, thanks for your thoughts. Felix Moreno, the trader and portfolio manager at RF Trading.